gone forever. What's going on, guys? Coach Jay Combs here, coming live from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm feeling good today, guys. Hold on, I'm trying to get my feet up and going. We're going to talk about this new year, this new mindset. Everybody talks about new year, new me. Well, it's the same you. Brian, is it the same? Is everybody the same? They're all the same. Guys, I'm putting out a mixtape today. Closing time. It's time to close the deal. All right. Guys, Coach Jay Combs coming from Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We've got a really good show today. We're going to be talking about the whole new year, new me debacle that you hear every single year, right? There is no such thing as a new you. You are the same you no matter what, right? And everyone's talking about how it's a new me and everything of that nature. Well, I've got bad news for you. You're still the same old. But the only thing that you can change is your mindset. Let me take out these ears. One of my guys wants to talk about a daily routine for 2019. That's funny that you say that, Andrew, because that is exactly what we're going to go into today is our daily routines. Do y'all like? So if you guys aren't tuning in, you guys can tune in on Instagram as well. And I got a pretty cool 2019 filter. So I'm doing some intermittent fasting. They said that's good, and hitting the gym, but not anything's changing, right? So I'm doing a little shake here for everything. But anyway, I'm gonna wait till everybody hops in. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I hope they had an awesome time. Got to visit with family, that whole 9 yards there. Oh, now let me see. Major key alert. I got it. All my buddies are on my Instagram live, and they're clowning. Let me see here. I'm gonna share this out. I forgot to share this out. Brian, we forgot to share this out.
I shared it.
On what? My Facebook?
Yeah.
All right, we're about to share it to Lab Coat. Hey, gents. Daily routine. Andrew, what questions do you have regarding your daily routine? What would you like to know, guys? If y'all have any questions, let me know. New year, new mindset. What's up, man? Too. So, anyways, guys, we're gonna go ahead and hop right in. So, if you've never tuned in before, my name's Jay Combs. I'm based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Real estate broker, owner, entrepreneur, and I've been fortunate enough to have helped 300 plus families, or been a part of 300 family transactions in the past 2.5 years. March will be my 3-year mark in real estate. Sold over $85 million. We've got over $3.5 million under contract starting for 2019. I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory. Last year in 2018, or I guess this year in 2018, we started off January with only $600,000. So we are 5 times, more than 5 times, almost 6 times more than where we were at last year at this time, because we are laser focused. What's up, Robbie Sands? Man, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a fantastic Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Me and my fiance, we took a few days to kind of reflect on the year and get ready. We went to Chicago. If y'all have never been, go. It was awesome because they say normally it's like negative 10 degrees, and it was like 55 when we went out there. So it was an awesome time. Got my red drink over here. But yeah, so we'll dive right in. So everybody's talking about this whole new year, new me, right? They're all excited about it. It's like, oh, it's January again. One of my buddies, he posted it on his Facebook the other day, and it was talking about like the calm before the storm. Everybody hopping in the gym. I encourage that, guys. You need to get your mind right. You need to get your body right. You need to get all the areas of your spectrum right. You know, and that's me talking to myself as well. But don't get things twisted. There's nothing that you're going to do. There is no such thing as new year, new me. You're the exact same person. The only thing that's going to change is your mindset, right? Like my buddy Alan, he's posting these, and he's going to try to hit out 52 books in 2019. So there's 52 weeks. It's going to be a monumental goal. I told him I'm going to try to do that, but I have been reading a ton right now, just getting my mind right for exponential growth, leadership, expansion, things of that nature. And I just came to the conclusion I'm going to work exactly the same pace and the same amount of effort that I have, the past 2 years, except I'm going to change my focus into expansion, recruiting, developing agents so they can do exactly what's been done before them. And really it's going to be a big paradigm shift of changing what they think is possible, but also changing the certain standards and expectations, right? So when everybody starts hitting the gym up and they're like, okay, new year, new me, really all it is there's a mindset change. And for those, a lot of people, this, they'll start in January, and by middle of February, they're fizzled out, and they're like, oh, 2020, new year, new me, right? But the ones who actually truly take it's a paradigm shift, they take it to heart, they're like, okay, I'm going to take this to the next level. There's something that sparks in their brain. There's something that sparks in their mindset, and it's like, hey, there's either a pain tolerance where, man, like I got kicked in the teeth so many times in 2018 that I'm going to change. I'm going to make a change, right? Or there's a pleasure point. They're like, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. I'm going to go out and I'm going to excel. And they set a huge goal for the year, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna go and do everything that I can to make sure that I'm gonna be able to achieve those goals. And guys, if you're just now tuning in, I come live every Monday at 12 o'clock, and I just go over things that are hot topics in my mind and my team. We did 160 transactions in 2018. That's my teams combined. And the goal for 2019 is 300 transactions, so almost doubling what we've done. So what do you think is going to have to change in order to go from 160 to 300, right? Freaking mindset, man. Like everyone's mindset's got to go from, okay, I'm going to be able to achieve this, and I'm going to double and triple. Now, fortunately for us, everyone's brand new in the business, so they don't have bad habits. They don't have laziness or complacency. But I challenge everyone on my team to go out and write down 100 goals that they'd like to achieve in 2019. Right? And I mean, when you think about it, man, 100 goals, that's insane. But I told them to dream a little bit. Where would you like to travel? Where would you like to, what places would you like to see? I'd never seen Chicago, so I knocked that out this year. Erica's never been to California, so, I'm going to guess that's probably going to be on her. We call it a live list, we want to live and experience these things. I'm hell-bent on this 300 transactions. That would equate to $72 million worth of real estate. And what that's going to boil down to is I've got to have more partnerships, more agents, and more accountability so that there are no downtimes. And what I'm really excited about is the opportunity to grow and expand. We're about to go in a downward market. Most people they're going to resist, when instead of resisting, mindset, think about that. We're going to go out and expand in the time where most people are going to contract, right? My Grant Cardone, he's always talking about, he's like, anytime you have an opportunity to deter away from the sheep and go and instead of contracting, right, instead of scaling back, we're going to go out and excel. We're going to go out and try to grow more. I was actually on the phone with someone earlier, and they're like, man, I'm complacent with where I'm at. And that struck a chord to me. I was like, man, if I'm trying to double, increase by 100%, 200% of what we did this year, I'm going to have people that have the same mindset to do that. And what we're getting at is a lot of people are going to talk the talk. Very few are going to walk the walk, right? It's going to be a mindset deal where somebody's just going to go out and say, you know what, there's no more excuses. I don't have any more excuses to give out. I'm going to go out and make a change no matter what. And I was talking to Brian the other day, and we were talking about, like, you know, what it actually takes. He was like, man, like, give me some juice today. I was like, man, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of hearing about all this new year, new me crap when everyone's not going to stay committed and actually do it. And really, you know, we were talking about the willingness to grow. You know, we talked about there's only two things that you can do different. You can change your mindset and you can change your environment, and they both go hand in hand. If you're in a better environment, you're going to be much better off. Like, I had a guy that was a local real estate agent in Knoxville, sent me a message in my private messages on Instagram, just talking hate. And I'm like, you know, I mean, I played into it for about 3 seconds. I was like, dude, why would you even send me that stupid message? You know, he's talking about, like, how, you know, this is mimicking other people. Well, hell yeah. I'm going to go out and mimic the people that are producing and duplicate the freaking results. What do you think? What do you think every time everybody goes out and it's new year, new me, Jazz, all they're going out, oh, I'm going to get on this workout plan. What are they doing? They're copying a workout plan. They do it consistently, and then they get results, right? And so, like, he was like, oh, yeah, you're the first person that came to mind. I said, you know what, man? I'm excited that I was at the top of your mind, because obviously I'm doing something right if the first thing that you think of is what I'm doing. You know, so I took it as a compliment, hit the block button, and said move on about my business. I could have gone out and played into it and let, you know, his negative, you know, toxic mindset jump up in my environment, but I'm not about that, right? I'm not going to allow other people's negativity get in front of me to slow me down. You know, and that's what I encourage you guys. You guys are going to have a lot of naysayers. You're going to have a lot of haters that will come in and try to chop you down. Dude, screw them, right? Like, who cares? You know, I encourage it. And there's a Facebook group called Lab Coat Agents, and there's a couple young guys that were excited. They're like, you know, when are we going to start making calls on New Year's Eve? And man, there's just a ton of people that were like, oh, that's so dumb. Why would you do that? That's a holiday, yada, yada, yada. And I'm over there, and I'm like, dude, I encourage you guys, I implore you guys to not go out and do any of that, because you will be the ones that will never go out and create an abundance of success. And there's one guy that was like, oh, I've been in the business for 15 years, and we'll do 45 or 50 million dollars this year, and we never made a cold call. And I'm like, wow, 15 years, and you're finally at that. We did that in our second year, you know, not to go out and boast in anything, with 4 agents, and you're congratulating and patting yourself on the back about you've done that. I said, what would happen is if you went out and did both. If you took exceptional care of your clients and you started prospecting, then your 50 million would go up to 75 million. You know, and they don't get it. I mean, you're gonna have to realize that you're gonna have to cut people out of your life. That's one important thing, guys. And growing the business, growing your mindset, growing your mindset, is you're gonna have to cut out negative people in your life, family, friends, relatives. Whoever that may be, you're going to have to cut those people. It's like, boom, do both and check the results. My man Chris dropping boom bombs of knowledge on you, son. Absolutely, right? Do both and get massive results. But you're going to have to cut people out of your life. And I always joke, it's like, man, it's like, hey, you know, what do you do when a snake bites you, right? With the venom. You chop off the freaking head of the snake and you suck out the venom and spit it out. Right? So you've got to do that exact same thing. So when you guys are going to go out and get a new mindset in 2019, which I encourage you guys to leverage other people, right? Instead of, you know, someone saying, oh, you're a copycat. Hell yeah, be a copycat in 2019. Mimic what people are doing, what's already working, and grow your freaking business. Success leaves clues. Follow people that are already doing it. Find people that are doing what you want to achieve and mimic that. Right? Give them all the praise. Give them all the thanks on what they've been able to do. Congratulate them. Thank them for the opportunity. And go out and crush it. Like I read the book. I gave it to Erica. Now she's reading it, but it's called the $1 Million Real Estate Team by Chris Waters and Bradley Pounds, based out of Austin, Texas. They're doing 100 transactions year over year, and they've been doing it, and they phased out of the business. And dude, I love the book. I've shared the book. I've bought the book for people in my own team. And anytime somebody says, hey, what's a really good book to read? I go out and I share that book, right? I'm giving them praise. I'm giving them thanks for what it is. Absolutely, Brandon. Yep, exactly. But and that's fine. Like getting back to what we're talking about, you've got to change your mindset. And let's think about that. What is your mindset? Right? It's your beliefs and what you believe is possible, right? There's quotes that says, whether you believe that you can or you can't, you will, right? So if you think that there's no way that you're going to be able to achieve it, you're right. But if you think that you are, then you're absolutely right as well. Like I am so hell bent on achieving 300 transactions in 2019 that I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to do it. Like I'm obsessed with it. I'm a fanatical about it. Like it's do or die. Like 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm going to hit my 300 deals or die trying. You know what I mean? And even if I fail and I hit 275 and go from 165 to 275, I'm cool with that. Right? I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. Guys, if you guys are just tuning in, you've never been a part, you've never watched this podcast, please like and share this. This is Real Talk Mondays coming to you live. I come in every freaking Monday to go out and drop bombs, drop wisdom on you guys. 20, 30 minutes every Monday just to go out and share what we're doing in our market that's working, and just kind of trying to help you guys lift your game up. Right, like I've been in real estate for 2.5 years. I've been an entrepreneur for since day one, since just a little guy. I remember I was throwing I threw a baseball, won a teddy bear the next day when I was in like 5th grade, and I sold it for $10. And I said, man, I'm going to be a business person. I'm going to be a salesperson. And I've been that way, pretty much my most of my adult life. But I try to come live every Monday just to grow and inspire and show people that from a guy, I grew up in a little town called Gillette, Arkansas, in southeast Arkansas, with population, I'd probably say 500-600. And now I own one of the larger real estate companies all of East Tennessee. I've been involved with almost $90 million worth of real estate transactions in less than 3 years. Helped over 300 families buy or sell real estate in this area. And I don't say that to boast or brag. I'm just telling you guys that it's possible if you guys are in the scenario where people are giving you limited beliefs. You've got to change that. And so much of it goes into your buy-in and your environment. Like I tell people all the time, two things. It's your mindset and your environment. And you can have great mindset, but if you're in a toxic environment, it's going to hinder you from going and exploding, right? It's going to hinder you guys from going and exploding your growth. And you've got to be so bought in. Like I've committed probably $100,000 worth of marketing dollars in 2019 that I didn't in 2018, but I'm so bought in. I'm so committed to my journey and where we're going to grow, that in a downward, slowing down market, I'm going to go out and spend more money than I ever have before. Why in the hell would I do that? Because I'm so bought in, I'm so plugged in, and what I think that's going to be able to be the possibility. But I also know that right now, instead of following the herd, following all the sheep, instead of hanging that left, I'm going to go right, and I'm going to go out and make a decision to rather make more money, or I could go and make more money. I'm going to reinvest that money back into my own business so that we can achieve exponential growth, which I may make less money this year, but I'm going to gain market share, right? And so I'm pouring all of that into my agents every single day, and they're starting to take ownership. I've got guys that's like, hey, my first whole year in the business, I'm going to sell 36 transactions. The average for a first year agent is like 4. In fact, I think I was on radio the other day, and they said the average deals for a licensed agent here in East Tennessee is like 6. And I've got guys that are less than a year in that are, some are at 25, 18, 19, and these are within just past few months. I've got one of my guys who's committed to 50 or 60 deals in 2019. Where would they get those numbers if they didn't have an extreme mindset of going out and making things happen? Like, their buy-in is astronomical. They're radical. They know that no matter what, that they're going to go out and crush it. And it's not a question as, am I going to? They're like, dude, I'm going to hit this. Right? He's like, I know I'm going to hit this, but I'm going to shoot for this. Like my boy Jake, he was like, my minimum bare standard is what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit 50 transactions, but really my goal, I think he said 75, something of that nature, which is huge. A single agent doing 75 transactions? Come on now. Who's watching this right now that'd love to do 75 transactions? Let me get an amen. Me, I would. Sign me up twice. If you're watching this video and you want to do 75 transactions and you want to be in a mastermind group with my guys. Ooh, listen, I've never offered this before. I'm going to offer it right now. For everybody that's watching this that will watch this on later, I'm going to go out and put a mastermind with my team, my agents, and I'm going to put a mastermind group to where you can contact them directly and ask them questions on what they're doing, what they're doing that's working, what they're doing that's not working. Who's on here? Who's on here that's in the real estate game or in sales, whatever it may be, that would want to double or triple their income from last year? If you're watching this, give me a thumbs up or a high five or anything. And if you don't do a high five or anything, I understand. I some people want to contract. I don't. What about you, Hunter? You want to grow your business? No doubt. So my boy Andrew, he was like talking about like daily routines. How is that possible? So the first thing is, like I told you, you got to change your mindset. You got to get your mind right. You have to be around people that have the same goals as you, or you at least have to attempt to elevate your game. And if there's no one else that has the same mindset as you, dude, go by yourself, right? It's a lot easier with help, but I would rather be completely by myself than with people that have limited beliefs that will tear me down. Where are we at? 25 minutes? Cool. We got about 5 minutes. So my boy Andrew, man, I'm disappointed to all my viewers that didn't want to grow and crush their business. That's fine. But my boy Andrew talked about daily routines and what you have to do and able to crush your beliefs. The first thing that you have to do, Andrew, is you have to have a clear plan, right? You've got to have a clear plan and a vision, and what that looks like is like, okay, hey, at the end of 2019, this is what it's going to look like, right? You've got to have a clear picture in your head. So if you want to be a physique superstar, or if you want to be a top-notch loan officer, or if you want to be the best car salesperson, envision, like, close your eyes right now. I want you to envision where you would be, like how it would feel whenever you go out and you get the top sales award possible, right? So whatever that situation may be. What's up, Ryan? What's up, Chevy? What's up, Steve? Whatever that looks like for you, close your eyes, and December 29th or December 31st of 2019, envision you're up there, you're getting the top sales award in front of 20, 30, 50, 100 people. They're announcing your name as the number one sales professional in the entire company. You're getting awards and accolades, and everyone's telling, high-fiving you and saying, dude, you crushed it. And you know exactly what it is and how it's going to feel, and you embody that and you embrace it, right? You've got to have that clear, distinct understanding of how it's going to feel. Build a picture, build your mindset, write it down, And then once you've done that, then you've got to go out and identify what do you have to do in order to get to that point. What habits or what characteristics would someone of that nature, like what characteristics does the number one sales performer, what does that look like for them? What do they do on a daily routine, right? What does the top producer, the top income earner, the top sales professional, what do they look like? How do they act? How do they treat their customers? How do they present themselves? How do they dress? How do they show up every single day? How is their hygiene, right? Do they come in and look sloppy? Do they come in late? Do they show up late for work, right? Are they there early? Do they stay late? Like, what does that look like for you if you were going to be the top professional, the top salesperson out there? And once you've identified the picture, and then you identify what the actions are going to be, then you just have to act, right? Then you just have to do it. Like I've got my whole team making calls, prospecting calls out to, buyers and sellers and people that are looking to invest in real estate. And during that time, I'm like, okay, and I'm trying to strategize in my head. And I'm like, you know what, man? I've got to stop thinking and I've got to start doing. And so I started cold calling businesses, businesses that have a large database of people that are in the same spectrum. So I started calling these businesses, man, hey, look, I've got a phenomenal team with a bunch of phenomenal agents that we provide a phenomenal service. Who might you know? Or would you be a good fit for our brand ambassador program, right? And trying to find people that have the same elevation, the same game, and the same end goal in mind, and like, hey, look, I want you to be a part of our group, right? And then also agents. I'm like, hey, I'm reaching out to these agents where I think that are doing less than 2 or 3 million. I'm like, look, hey, what would it look like if you were to hit 6 or 7 million next year? How would that change your life? How would that impact your family? How would that make you feel if you could go in next year knowing that you're going to double your income because you changed your beliefs, you changed your mindset on what you thought was possible, and then you're in an environment that held you accountable to hit those actions, right? Like, I know for me, structure is the most important thing for me on a consistent basis. I like consistency. I like to know what my routine looks like. I like to know, like, if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't happen, right? Like, I will miss 100% of the appointments that I don't put in my calendar because I don't have a good enough memory. But I try to fill my calendar always. And as soon as I get an appointment, I put it in my calendar so I can understand that. But the daily routines are going to be consistent activities that will help you hit your goals and showing up early. Like for us, it used to be, hey, come into work at 9ish or 9:30, and we're going to start hitting the phones. Well, then it went to like, hey, it's mandatory 9. Then it's like, why don't everybody get there at 8:30 so we can script and then we can be on the phones by 9? Well, now my own team is elevating their game and they're showing up at 8 o'clock. So now the new normal is everybody's getting to work at 8 o'clock. What's going to be the new standard? Hell, we may be showing up at 7:30. Script, role plan, on the phones by 8. Prospecting by 8. Being on the phone by 8 so that we can get more done and then actually be able to buy our time in the evenings. Maybe somebody doesn't want to work till 8:30 at night. So they start a little earlier and they do it. But guys, if I can just give you 2 nuggets before you go out. 2 nuggets. Nothing will ever change if you don't commit to the change itself. You will never go out and grow. Like, I've lived a life of complacency. I've lived a life of being normal, being average, and I can tell you it's not fun. There's nothing exceptional of it. But if you have the right routine and the right beliefs and the right commitment, that's when ordinary people do extraordinary things. Right? Like, there's no way in hell that a country boy from from southeast Arkansas with a population of 600 with a graduating class of like 19 could go and grow one of the largest real estate teams in East Tennessee. And been able to travel all over the United States and going to be all over the world. There's no reason that a country boy, small town kid that doesn't have a college education. I've been to college 3 times and I've got 3 credit hours. You know what I mean? Like, college wasn't for me. So, uneducated, didn't have a there's no one that had an education system for me. Like, I had to learn all that shit by myself, right? But I've always had huge beliefs of getting out of that small town. I think I hated my small town so much when I was younger that there was like an undying need to get out. And there is an undying need to prove myself and prove my worth. And then it was like, okay, hey, I remember the first time that I'd ever made a 6-figure income. I was 21 years old, and I was so excited about having, some money in the bank. And every year I started elevating my game and started elevating and copying people that were doing more than myself, and really opened my lid. John C. Maxwell talks about it. There's a couple books that you can read and talk about raising the lid of someone. And whenever I decided not only I was going to raise my lid, but I was going to understand what that looked like, then everything changed. I went from I wanted to be the top real estate. I remember writing my goals down in 2016. I said I want to be the top real estate agent in Tennessee, the solo agent. Well, quickly I realized that that wasn't the goal for me, and I did. I became one of the top agents in all of East Tennessee. I've sold hundreds of homes in the time that I've been in the business. But then I decided, hey, I wanted to be the top team in Tennessee, right? And so now I'm working on becoming the top team in Tennessee. And then it's like, hey, now I'm realizing I've got people. I had a guy message me earlier that said, man, I see what you're doing. I want to be a part of that. And I get that all the time. And it's like, now it's like, okay, hey, how can I go out and duplicate what we're doing now and grow it elsewhere? Finding people with huge beliefs that have a mindset that's comparable to mine, and putting them in the right environment to where they can grow. Change your mindset. You got to. That's the number one thing. You're not changing yourself. You're changing your beliefs and your habits, and that will change, quote unquote, you. And you've got to eliminate any people in your life, anyone that has limited beliefs on what your capabilities are and what you are wanting to do. Anyone that has any type of hindrance there, you got to cut ties. You've got to cut ties with those people. Guys, it's been real. It's been fun. Tomorrow is the start of 2019, January 1. Do not take the day off. It is not a holiday. It is a day for you to go out and capture market share. I encourage you guys to go out and crush this year. I encourage you guys to not listen to the people that are average. Do not take advice from people that aren't qualified to give you advice. Ooh, that's a good one right there. Do not take advice from anyone that's not qualified to give you advice. If they're not doing double, triple, or quadruple or more on what you're doing, if they're doing the same or less of what you're doing, they are not qualified to give you advice. If you have somebody that has limited beliefs and they're bought into their limited beliefs and they want to suck you down with them, do not let them affect your mindset, guys. Y'all be great. Crush it. It's New Year's Eve. You guys have another 11 hours to make today great. And then I encourage all you guys to go out and absolutely crush tomorrow. I will be working at 8 a.m., maybe even earlier. So if anybody wants to come shadow or actually see what we're doing. But anybody wants to be involved with our mastermind group and putting together a mastermind group with our agents and vendors as well. And if you guys want details about that, on what we're doing that's working, what ideas that we're putting into our business to implement. We went from $600,000 in January of 2018. We're already over $3.5 million in January, one of the slower months of the year. We're not letting off the gas. We're ready to kick 2019's face in and crush it. And if you guys want to be a part of that, let me know. Comment below. And let's crush 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Real Talk Monday. What is today? Today's the 31st. It's New Year's Eve. Tomorrow's the day, baby. Change your mindset, not you. Peace.